Have you ever wondered why you made a decision? Was it truly yours? Or was it carefully placed in your mind like a seed, hours or even days before you reached for it? We like to think we are the captains of our souls. We believe in free will, in autonomy, in the sanctity of our own thoughts. But looking at the data, the raw, unfiltered psychology of the human animal, free will is nothing more than a glitch in our perception. It is a comforting lie we tell ourselves to sleep at night. The truth is much colder. The truth is that the human mind is not a fortress. It is a puzzle box, and there are people walking among us who hold the solution. Welcome to the deep end. We are not here to discuss simple parlor tricks like mirroring body language or active listening. That is child's play. We are here to dissect the architecture of control. We are going to explore the darkest corners of psychological manipulation, where the boundaries between influence and brainwashing dissolve. By the time this ends, you will realize that the most powerful prison is the one you build for yourself, brick by brick, because someone else handed you the blueprint. Let's start with a fundamental truth that most people refuse to accept. The human brain hates commands, but it absolutely loves options. If someone tells you to sit down, your instinct is to rebel. It is the ego protecting its autonomy. But if someone asks you whether you would prefer to sit in the armchair or on the sofa, you will sit. You think you made a choice. In reality, the architect determined that you will sit. They only let you choose the texture of your submission. This is known as the illusion of alternative choice, or the double bind. Salesmen use it. Politicians live by it. But true manipulators use it to dismantle your personality. Imagine a partner or a boss who wants you to take on a burden you don't want. An amateur will demand it. A master will say, "I know we are swamped. Do you want to tackle this project tonight so we are free tomorrow, or should we come in early at 5 a.m. to get a head start?" See what happened there? The option of not doing the work was removed from the equation entirely. Your brain, panicked by the thought of waking up at 5 a.m., clings to the tonight option as a lifeline. You feel relief. You might even feel proud of your dedication. You didn't choose to work. You were herded. The parameters of your reality were defined for you, and within that tiny cage, you felt free. This is the first lesson of the architect. Never give a command. Give a choice where every outcome serves you. But controlling the choices is just the surface. To truly own someone's mind, you must occupy their thoughts when you are not physically present. You must become a ghost haunting their synapses. There is a psychological principle called the Zeigarnik Effect. It states that the human brain remembers incomplete tasks far better than completed ones. It craves closure. It hates the open loop. Dark psychology weaponizes this need for resolution. It combines it with intermittent reinforcement to create an addiction stronger than chemicals. Think of the slot machine. If you pulled the lever and won every single time, you would get bored within minutes. If you never won, you would walk away. But the machine is programmed to let you win randomly. Sometimes after one pull, sometimes after 50. You never know when the dopamine hit is coming, so you keep pulling. You become a lab rat. In human relationships, this manifests as hot and cold behavior. The manipulator gives you intense validation, love bombing you until you feel like the center of the universe. Then, without warning, they pull away. Silence, coldness, a text message left on read. Your brain goes into overdrive. You analyze every conversation, every interaction. You are trying to close the open loop. In that moment of anxiety, the manipulator is not even in the room, yet they control 100% of your mental bandwidth. You are starving for the resolution. And when they finally return with a scrap of affection, the relief is so powerful it feels like salvation. You aren't in love. You are chemically dependent on the relief of the anxiety that they created. They break your legs just to offer you a crutch, and you thank them for it. Once the dependency is established, the next step is the erosion of trust in your own senses. You have heard the term gaslighting, but the internet has watered it down to mean simple lying. True gaslighting is not about lying. It is about reality displacement. It is a slow, methodical process of replacing someone's internal compass with your own. It starts small. You are remembering it wrong. You were stressed that day. I never said that. You are imagining things again. You have been so sensitive lately. The goal is not to convince the victim of a specific lie. The goal is to destroy their confidence in their own memory and perception. Once a person believes their hardware is faulty, they look for an external hard drive to store their reality. That drive becomes the manipulator. The architect becomes the arbiter of truth. When the victim feels hurt, the architect says, "No, you don't feel hurt. You feel guilty because you know you overreacted. I'm actually the one who should be hurt, but I forgive you." Digest that. It redefines the victim's emotion, assigns a new motive, claims the moral high ground, and offers absolution, all in one breath. The victim, already doubting their mind, accepts this new reality because it is the only stable thing offered in the chaos. This is the death of the self. But why does the victim stay? Why don't they just leave? This brings us to the most insidious tool in the arsenal, the creation of a shared enemy. Isolation is difficult to enforce with walls, but easy to enforce with words. The manipulator paints the world outside as dangerous, misunderstood, or hostile. They don't understand us, they say. Your friends are just jealous of our connection. Your family is trying to control you. Slowly, the victim cuts ties. Not because they are forced to, but because they believe they are protecting the sanctity of the relationship. This is the us against the world dynamic. It creates a siege mentality. The victim feels special, chosen, part of an elite club of two. Every concern expressed by friends or family is viewed as an attack, further proving the manipulator's point. The isolation becomes self-inflicted, and when you are isolated, you lose your reference points. You have no one to reality check your situation. The only mirror you have left is the one the manipulator holds up, and that mirror only shows what they want you to see. Now, let's go deeper into the mechanism of compliance. There is a concept known as the Ben Franklin effect. Logic suggests that we do favors for people we like, but psychology proves the reverse is also true. We like people for whom we do favors. It is a matter of cognitive dissonance. If I do something nice for you, my brain must justify why I did it. It concludes, I must like this person. A skilled manipulator will not constantly give you gifts. They will constantly ask you for small favors. Can you hold this? Can you handle this for me? I need your help with this. Each small act of investment binds you tighter to them. You are investing your time, your energy, and your resources. And the more you invest, the harder it is to walk away. It is the sunk cost fallacy applied to a human soul. You cannot leave, because leaving would mean admitting that all your sacrifice was for nothing. So you double down, you try harder, you give more, hoping that eventually the investment will pay off. It never will. The deficit is the design. Finally, we must address the weaponization of guilt and obligation. This is often subtle, wrapped in the guise of altruism. The manipulator gives you something you didn't ask for, creating an unwritten debt. Then when the time is right, they collect. After all I've done for you is the phrase that triggers the programming. It frames your autonomy as selfishness. It makes your boundaries look like ingratitude. You are not saying no to a request. You are betraying a martyr. The guilt is the invisible electric fence that keeps you from straying too far. Why are we discussing this? Why expose these blueprints? Some of you will use this information to protect yourselves. You will see the strings before they tighten around your neck. You will recognize the illusion of choice, the open loops, and the reality displacement. You will spot the architect standing in the shadows of your life. But others are taking notes for different reasons. Knowledge is neutral. It does not care who wields it. The darkness is not in the psychology, it is in the intent of the architect. But understand this, once you see the cage, you can never unsee it. You will look at your relationships, your workplace, even your own beliefs, and you will ask the question that destroys the illusion. Are these my thoughts, or am I just dancing to a song I can't hear? Look around you today. Look at the choices you are offered. Look at the anxieties you can't resolve. Who benefits from your confusion? Who profits from your doubt? The world is full of architects. The only question is, are you building your own life, or are you just laying bricks for someone else's monument?